years. It was a project that was envisioned many years back in the Staden agreement. I was part of that agreement, but there's many others that can speak to the long history of how this came to. But one of the commitments of the agreement between Hydro and the staff was relocation to a 10-kilometer portion of transmission line, which is through and on the east side of the river, just east of town here, over to the north, or I guess that would be the west side of the river, and relocate that 10 and rebuild it on that side. So we've been, which is comprised of the two mostly affected communities, would be Aqua and Western, have been working on this project for about 3 or 4 years now, beyond the agreement signed. Over that time, we've come a long way in refining exactly where the route would go. So I just give you the update and where it's come to this point and our steps going forward. So the length of the line is it's 60 on 20, and it transmits power from Staden powerhouse into the general area. So it's an important line, along with the other 200 kV lines that run through the area as well. But the effects of that line are that some of the poles are located along the agriculture lands here, and our lands, and up in this area as well, which has been interfering with a lot of that use, right? So a few years ago, we removed some of these initial poles that are the worst offenders, and now after we get the new route built, we were removing all the rest of those. They're wooden poles, yes. So the new route will be installed on Crown land and will be moved over from community members and council and others that have been involved in this project include Isaac and Bradley, the two key representatives from Hawthorne. I'll hand it over now to Stan to go through some of the environmental and archaeological and other information collected today, along with some of the engineering.
Okay, so in this project last year, we did environmental studies in routing that we proposed. We had to look at it. Actually, it turned out that important species, including 2 SARA listed, so that's Species Act. So the common nighthawk and the gopher snake found those along the way in the pleasant occupation area, as well as and then also the rare plant study found that there were some important plant species in the area, and blue bunch wheatgrass. So anyway, the environmental study showed that we need to do more work. We looked at moving some poles around. If we go back to the map, how do we go backwards? Yeah, here. So you got blue. We were taking a more direct route across here in this area up to the roadway to avoid some of those impacts. So anyway, the proposed routing is there, and this year we have more environmental studies kicking off late May and June, looking at those rare plants and those species and making sure that we can mitigate the impacts or just avoid them altogether. So what's going on the environment side? And we're, of course, we're working with the communities, as we said. The archaeological impact assessment was done last year. Sorry, anyway, they found, as you expect in this area, they found stuff. So they they found a house pit, and they found a number of lithic, fragments in various places. So let's see. Yeah, it says here 1 house pit site and a number of protected sites in the area. Again, they moved the power line right away a little bit to avoid it. So as I have to go backwards here. Okay. Actually, we can use this now. So I think that I was talking to Nate this morning. She was saying the house was in this area somewhere. Also, quite a few of the archaeological fragments and whatnot were found in that area. Made some moves to avoid them. So that's archaeology. This year's archaeology involving the communities will be small. It'll just be where we move the power line routing, just the spots that we didn't pick up. So we talked about the revised route. Here you can see these numbers are based on kilometers. So when you see a 5-4, that is the 4th pole in the 5th kilometer, so up to the 6th kilometer, etc. So we're cutting into the line in the 5th kilometer, and we're building about 10 kilometers, and we show up over here and tie back in. We didn't make a lot of changes in here. I think changes, as I said, in there based on last year's study work, just to avoid environmental and archaeological. So we're following the roadway in here. What we got next? Next one's the profile. So in terms of engineering, this aspect ratio is 1:4, so it exaggerates the vertical. But at this, you can see from an engineering perspective, this is a pretty challenging route. We're going up that first hillside, and there's a steep slope up there. And here we have 2 very long spans crossing the Fraser River twice. So the engineering effort is underway. We should be at much cheaper. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, the engineering is coming up fairly quickly. We'll bring the geotech engineer and have a look at soils and whatnot for foundations. And then we'll get into detailed pole design and stuff like that. So is it going to be back to wood? Back to wood? I believe it always was wood. Will the new line be wood? Yes, it will. Yeah, we're designing in wood. The only structures that may be something are the river crossings. And this one's particularly long. I know the guys were looking at fiberglass. I'm not sure that that will be the final material they could wood. So, yeah, but most of the structures be wood. And especially for following that road, that Forest Services road, it's cheaper short spans because you're going to follow, a pretty twisted up path, right? You don't want to be on steel. You need to go.
I presume it's a 3-phase.
Yes. Yeah. So 3-phase, 60. What else? We'll have to do the demolition work as well. That's the other piece of the project. So there's a little bit of the line that's already been removed. Oops, I think I went too far. A little already been removed in, I think it's this area down here.
Yeah, so the portion that's along the Aqua, the right of the abandoned office there, where the agriculture is, has been removed already 2 years ago, and then the rest of it will be removed once the new lines are built.
Yeah, so that's the last piece of it. So, other than that, I mean, we need to get going on it. So, I guess get the goals kind of the next section, but as design lines on, we should be getting out here pretty quick.
Yeah, so some of the next steps here are we're going to continue, as Sam said, to do further environmental assessment work coming up in May and June. Now it's kind of the refinement work. We covered that all off last summer. So it's the line tuning now and trying to mitigate as much as possible some of these effects that these projects as we all have, right? And the next thing also is our discussions on how we're going to move forward with the actual construction work itself. With Isaac strategy on coming up with models that will fulfill the full intent of the agreement, which was that we can get as much involved in the community as a whole and on this program, and then we can build that skill set. There's going to be 2 construction seasons. We're between the months of November and March, and that's based on all the environmental work windows we have, which invest in joining in the summer on various species and whatnot. There may be some opportunity for a little bit of work in the summer, but most of it's going to be through the winter. Winter plans to get in and start on the roads, start on clearing, the logging, and then the following winter, 2017, and actually start putting culvert up and stringing the lines. So that's the general steps forward. So we're going to be completing that engineering and design by the end of this year, the plan. So the actual structure and poles themselves, and the leading design of the road a little bit sooner than that, so we can get out in November. Here's just another project sits, and then at the end of all that, once the lines are struck, we have to do the demolition removal of the.
So once the demolition is, what to do as far as clearing the sites?
So following on after the line's been built, initially there won't be much vegetation clearing to be done because it'll already be prepped for, I'd say at least 10 years probably to be done. And then after that, it'll be just like any of our other right-of-ways will have ongoing to be done as the shrubs grow back out in the trees and whatnot. Yeah. And as we discover, after the initial clearing, sometimes you can discover that there's some danger trees and hazard trees. Your line, you may have missed the initial clearance, but a little bit of work there to finish that up.
But maybe it's a 10-year window, so they design it, so when they're cutting danger trees, they're looking for anything that within 10 years will basically the first maintenance, vegetation maintenance for 10 years.
Because after about 10 years, of course, some of the taller trees in the right of way, another couple of
So we need a reserve time for you to remove the poles.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to, yeah, the poles that were already removed, the nation wanted them fully removed, including the slugs under the ground, so to pull them on, like they did. On other projects where the poles are quite old, like this one, we just lifted them up, maybe 6 inches or a foot, buck them off, and come back and put them on, and put, a foot or seems to be the least they can do it, but that will have to be sorted with that.
And each area is going to be different. Like, some of the poles are in agricultural land, some are on a ridge, others are probably going to be different. What did you say?
There were 475, but that was the whole one replacing 10 kilometers, so 50-ish. Yeah. The way the line is now, it's jumpered in, so
I don't know all those tools are used previously,
On the base,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you got that evolution too, right?
yeah.
That's why. I don't know any more work to do.
Well, actually, something that BC Hydro does throughout the province is lower placements in some areas where we're decommissioning and removing lines. So it's that is just thought of. We look at the best option. Sometimes the best option is to leave it in place, right, rather than causing a big disturbance.
The new poles, what's used now, are they increasing?
Yeah, there's some guys in the room over there that we were just talking about that. I can answer that question real handily. I think most of them are depends on cedar.
Yeah, so we do an agricultural, more we remediate it.
Yeah.
You don't want that in your resource.
And that's what, was kind of happened with, that was the decision that came to 2 years ago on ones and they leave,
Yeah, she said, yeah.
Oh,
Just to answer the question, it's the work that took place in Canada off the fields, the hay fields.
yeah.
You know, you see hydro dug up the whole area around the poles and removed and put the fresh soil in place. So that any kind of changing or anything was removed and you see hydro brought that soil to recycle. It's all clean. Nice work.
Yeah. You know where it went?
I always went to Kelowna.
There you go,